Hello, Coach Steph here. Today we're going to talk about, does your behavior stink? Ooh. This is kind of a fun topic, and just being able to assess ourselves and see, like, what does that look like for us? But we're going to be talking about behavior modification versus heart transformation. Before that, don't forget, subscribe. I would love more people to join us in this space. I really am hoping to giving you things that really help you in everyday life. And so subscribe, share, like, comment. I love it when you leave me comments. Just where are you connecting? Where do you want to hear more? Gives me ideas as well of future episodes to do for you. So all of those things. And let's move back into, does your behavior stink? So really, when I look at this, I am comparing how when we focus on behavior modification, we're trying to do externally on the outside, to do everything right, to say everything right, to be perfect, as perfect could be. When in reality, we know, remember, yes, that life could be messy, but you don't have to be. Is you finding these places where you understand that more and more and more effort is not going to make you a perfect human being. It's not going to make you perfect in every space of life. We are meant to grow and change and challenge ourselves and challenge each other. Like, this is all a part of the mess of relationships. So sometimes I think when our behavior, when our attitude stinks, is when we move in this place of behavior modification, trying so darn hard to do everything right, to please everybody around us, to be what we think everybody else is wanting or needing us to be. And that is just a really hard space to hold, because it doesn't allow you to be you, fully you, even in the mess of you and who you are. So you can actually do some pretty good mess ups and not have stinky behavior, because you are apologizing, you are owning it, you are coming to the table to say, hey, I'm humble enough to say, I wish I wouldn't have said it that way. I wish I would have seen your heart first. All of those kinds of things. Then you can relax into who you are instead of trying so hard to behave your way into perfection. And just the frustration you feel when you're behaving your way into perfection, when it's all about behavior modification, you can feel hurt so easily because other people aren't seeing all that effort you're making behind the scenes. You can feel like people are beating you up with their words. You can feel like that you are unseen because they don't get and understand how hard you're trying. And so there's so many places where you can self-reflect when it's behavior modification in a way that kind of makes your attitude stink. You're annoyed at other people for not being okay with how perfect you're trying to be. And any little wrong that you might do or perceive that you're doing is another place for you to just feel like a failure. And I don't want that for you. I don't want you to focus so hard on behavior modification that you don't shift to our second point. We only have 2 points today, to heart transformation. And what do I mean by that? So, if you focus more on heart transformation instead of behavior modification, you're going much deeper. It's not the outward, what I'm doing outward for everybody. You're going inward and you're saying, why do I respond this way? Why do I feel hurt when this happened? Why am I showing up with a bad attitude, with stinky behavior? Why am I doing that? And what's at the core? What am I believing about myself? What am I believing about the other person? How can you bring yourself to an place of unconditional love instead of it being on conditions. Again, behavior modification. It's all about you performing the right way, the right things, saying the right things, all of that. It's very much driven by a perfectionistic perspective, where heart transformation is about seeing other people and not focusing on self so much. When you're seeing other people, and it's God's perfect example of loving us unconditionally. That's what our hearts are longing for. Just love me for me. Don't love me for doing all the perfect things or all the right things or saying all the right things. And find that grace for one another, grace for yourself, and grace for the other people around you, that they don't have to behave perfect for you to be okay. You can work on heart transformation. So when other people aren't perfect, you also can accept them as who they are. Maybe that means you have a hard conversation. That's okay. You're still working on that heart level connection and not just a behavior outward level connection. So I hope those two things make sense to you. I hope you can find ways to start dropping into that heart transformation, really being able to look and understand why it is that I'm showing up in certain ways, how I can not bring just a behavior change for the moment, but a heart transformation that will stay with you for years to come. Because when the heart is transformed, that makes all the difference in the world for your thought life and then your behavior life to also be transformed. So, yay, you made it through another time with me, and I'm glad that you're here. And I hope you are learning and growing with me. Keep staying tuned, keep subscribing, keep inviting other people. I'm so glad you're here, and I hope you have an awesome day.